Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'll be playing some Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, this game's actually real demanding, especially when you run it at the highest settings, which I'm doing. So playing at resolution of 3840 by 2160. HD textures is on. This is like a 6GB DLC from Steam. Well, this is the version I'm playing anyway. Turn off VSync, and I'm using FOV of 75, which is the maximum as well. So show the advanced graphics settings. I'm using SMAA1TX. It can go up to 2, but no real need for too much anti-aliasing at 4K, and everything else is at ultra high. The only thing I've turned off is motion blur again. Not much of a fan of that, apart from when it comes to racing games, I'll use it. So that's pretty much it for the in-game settings. As you can see, the frame time has smoothened out since I disabled VSync. I'm not really going to judge performance too much in here because I'm in a house after all. Once I get outside, I'll see how things perform. So my character does need to eat, so I should probably get some stuff from the table actually. Some apples here as well. But the bread will have to be enough. Funnily enough, getting more performance out here than I was inside, which is strange to see. This game had a GPU utilization issue when you get into town. So I'll be looking forward to see if the 12900K and DDR5 RAM can help with that. But getting really good performance so far.
Come here, I need your help. At least you're up, that's a start. Anyway, we've a lot of work to do today. I'm finishing the sword for Sir Radzik, and I need your help.
With what?
I'm running out of charcoal. Run to the market and buy a bag from the charcoal burner.
I'll need some money then.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Kunesh still owes me for an axe, a hammer, and the nails I sold him a month ago. Not to mention his debt from before. Go and tell him to pay up, at least for the axe and hammer, and then use the money to buy the charcoal.
Kunesh? That drunkard? That'll be fun.
Well, you're a big lad now. I'm sure you can manage. If not, tell him that next time I'll come myself and personally use that hammer to bang those nails into his arse.
Sure I'll be happy to hear it. Is that all?
Not quite. The Chamberlain at the castle has the crossguard for Sir Radzik's sword, which I had engraved in Sasau.
You want me to go and pick it up? All right. Money, charcoal, crossguard. Got it.
And ale. Stop off at the tavern on your way home. I know you'll be going there anyway to see that girl of yours. But make sure the ale's still cool from the cellar when you get back.
Her name is Bianca.
Right, so make sure Bianca draws me a nice cool one. Run along now, work won't wait.
So as you can see, this engine, I'm not too sure what engine this game uses, but in some of those cutscenes I was drawing up to 580 watts. I am using the Asus XOC BIOS with an 890 watt power limit. Although I'm not using the full power limit, it's still able to draw 600 watts comfortably. So my water cooling setup doing a great job of keeping things in check, but it's being really stressed here.
I'll be with you.
I'm with you, Henry.
How are you?
Father sent me. We're forging a sword for Sir Radzik, and the Chamberlain has the crossguard and pommel. Father had them engraved in Sasau.
Right. They're here. The Chamberlain gave them to us for you. We looked them over. Beautiful work. I've never seen anything so fine.
I can't wait to see the sword. Just make sure you don't botch it.
When did I ever botch anything?
Where shall I start?
Ah, shut up and give me what I want, or I'll kick your ass this evening.
Right away, your lordship.
Magnificent. Shame I can't keep the sword for myself. Well, I better go if we're to get the job done by this evening.
Godspeed. See you later in the tavern.
You certainly will. After today's work, the ale might even be on me.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Yeah, I probably should have spent some more time eating breakfast, but that's cool. I'll find something to eat. But performance is good so far. Some of you may have noticed, drawn over 600 watts in that conversation just now. So the RTX 3090 Ti PCB is built to deal with that. However, most air-cooled cars are power limited for good reason, because you really do need air. You need more than air to deal with that. So it'll be interesting to see how the 4090 and other high power limited cars in the future will deal with such high power draw. So anyway, I need to go and find Kunesh and get that money. I think he's over here actually. This is him. Let's have a word with him. But yeah, 99% GPU load so far. Maybe I got the wrong man. Let's just double check. Pretty sure this is him, yeah.
God be with you, Kunesh.
What do you want?
My father sent me to get the coin you owe him for the axe, hammer, and nails.
I've got nothing. Clear off.
Clear off. Alright then, we'll see.
I knew you'd be trouble. Father says if you don't pay up, he'll come here himself and hammer those nails into your hairy arse.
I'd like to see him try. Fuck off, you bastard, or your old man will be pulling those nails out of you.
Let's fight.
I must have misheard you. It sounded like you just told me to clear off. But you wouldn't be stupid enough to think you can steal, not pay your debts, and then try to scare me, would you?
You son of a whore. How dare you speak to me like that? Didn't your thieving father teach you any manners? No? Well, I'll teach you then. Take care.
Okay. I don't remember the buttons, but I think I can kind of guess the gist of things. I'm gonna try and do him with a jab.
Bugger! You're done for, bastard.
It's pretty tough. Try and keep my distance from him. Kunesh is getting the best of this one.
Now.
And he's doing a much better job than me so far. Gonna try and catch him coming in. It's pretty tough, isn't it? Okay. Try and use faster strikes. Just trying to wait for my stamina to go back up.
Curse it! This won't.
Not bad. Okay.
Way off.
Haymakers are pretty hard to land. I want to try and catch him coming in as he goes to attack me. Bad. Up a good fight.
Enough! I give up. Take what you want. It's not much, but it's all I have. You understand?
Why didn't you just give me the stuff in the first place? We wouldn't have to resort to such crude resolution methods. Anyway, let's go and get all the stuff that he owes me.
Good health to you, Henry.
I think his house is actually around this way.
All right, blacksmith's boy, you got the better of me. Take what you want, but you haven't heard the last.
Idle threats. Anyway, it's meant to be a chest or something in here. We'll look around. Where is that stuff? You did say I could take what I want, so I guess I help myself to some food as well. Okay. So I got what I came for. Now I need to go to the tavern and get that ale. Oh, I actually need to sell this stuff and get some charcoal, actually. So when I previously played this with my 8700K at 5.3 GHz on my RTX 2080 Ti, when I used to come into this section of the game, the GPU load would be all over the place. But as you can see with the RTX 3090 Ti and 12900K, everything's fully stable. No bottleneck on the CPU side. And yeah, performance has been good so far. I'm actually pretty surprised.
Greetings.
Okay, let's trade. I think this is the guy with the charcoal, so what I need to do is sell the hammer and the nails. Okay, I've got the money now, so let's buy the charcoal. I think it was just one bag. That should do it. Okay, now I can go into the tavern.
You can't be serious, Deutsch. Insulting our king.
What insult? I say only the truth. Sigismund has done only what he had to.
He had to abduct the king. He had to lure his cousin Prokop into a trap and imprison him. He had to invade with his army of Tatars and besiege Kuttenberg.
Why not? What is this Wenceslas for a king? The empire is falling asunder in his hands. The German counts elected Ruprecht of the Palatinate as king because your Wenceslas would not go to their deeds even.
German counts. Traitors.
Now even the Pope
God be with
is
you,
opposed
Henry.
to your king.
I'm with you,
So are
Matthew.
such lords as
What's going on here?
Rosenberg.
Deutsch is
Even
spouting
the
shit.
Austrian Dukes Albrecht
What?
and
Just
Wilhelm
listen and
are
you'll hear
on
for yourself.
Sigismund's side. Someone has to bring order and reunite the empire.
What do I care about the Austrians? And nowadays, not even the devil himself can keep up with all the popes. Which is the rightful pope? The one in Rome or the one in Avignon?
Do not blaspheme, Alex.
No, it's true, though. Wenceslas is the king of Bohemia. Bohemian nobles are on his side. To hell with Rosenberg and his cabal. Sir Radzik is Wenceslas' commander-in-chief. He stayed loyal to the king. And if he heard you talking like this, he would have you whipped like a dog.
Your deed will soon have nothing left to rule. Jobst had to sell Luxembourg to help your king. South Bohemia is with Sigismund
And don't
and...
forget about Kuttenberg, where Germans like you kissed Sigismund's feet to keep their heads.
Yes, but...
Goodman Deutsch, this is pointless. Let us talk of more pleasant things.
My words exactly.
Deutsch has gone too far. Wenceslas is our rightful king.
Deutsch is an idiot. But what can you do? I might have an idea. Deutsch deserves to be taught a lesson. Doesn't he, Fritz?
You're too right, Matthew. Should give him a proper hiding.
Are you mad? Do you want to end up in the pillory? Don't listen to Fritz. I've got a better idea. Deutsch was talking such shit, it made me think of that huge parliament. You know, the one right next to his freshly whitewashed house. You think we should redecorate for him? Count me in.
Well, I'd rather torch it, to be honest. But throwing some tears will do.
What do you say, Henry?
But I was going to get ale for father and a few other things. We're finishing Sir Radzig's sword.
Come on. Throwing a few handfuls of manure is not going to take all day.
And it's our duty to defend the honor of our king. So, Hal, are you with us?
As you can see, the cutscenes are locked at 30 FPS. I'm not going to do this mission though, it's a bit boring.
Not that I don't want to teach the Deutsch a lesson, but I really don't have time.
Well, that's disappointing. Still, we can manage without you. Let's go, lads.
Honestly, hell. How could you possibly chance like this?
I don't remember being able to see facial damage on your character once you took a bit of damage. So either that's a new feature, it's always been there, and I've just forgotten. But it looks pretty good. As you can see, that Kunesh guy had got a few good hits in on me, and you can see the scars and damage on my face. Anyway, let's find Bianca and get this ale. Shit. It should be in here. Sometimes she's outside. Here she is.
God save, my lovely. You're looking well today.
You too, handsome. What brings you here?
I dropped some game.
Your beauty, of course.
Oh, noble sir. I'm as honored as any simple maid can be. And apart from my beauty, what else might your worship desire?
Let's see, what are my options? Let's just be honest, we're after the picture.
I need ale for father.
A pitcher as usual?
Aye. Bring me a cool one from the cellar.
But of course. Here you are.
Thanks.
It's on me today. You can pay me back this evening.
Out of the question. Here you go. And this evening I'll have something more for you.
I can't wait.
Thanks. You'll have something to look forward to this evening.
You too. Oh, by the way, that shifty-looking fellow was asking after you.
Maniac?
I suppose. He is a man who makes his coin robbing honest wayfarers. I'm sure of it. I'll be happy when he's gone for good. But what in heaven's name are you up to with him?
He promised to teach me how to use a sword.
What use would that be to you?
Enough. You sound just like father. I'll be going now. See you this evening.
Hal, I've got something special for you.
Is that so? Now what would that be?
Your favorite, Savior Schnapps.
Really? You're an angel.
I hope you'll thank me properly later.
You bet I will.
God save Henry.
So I always wondered if you had really fast RAM and more IPC, would you be able to just have a smooth gameplay, and it seems that is the case. The game does use a fair amount of the CPU as well for 4K, so that's actually pretty decent. All of the P cores are fully loaded, so that's nice to see. So that's all my endeavors in town completed. Let's bring back the charcoal to his dad and the, I think, the hilt of the sword or whatever it was that we had to pick up. But over 100 FPS mainly, can't complain with that. But yeah, the power draw is pretty crazy, but it's my fault really. I've got a really crazy overclocked card, and I would advise anyone who does want to use this BIOS, make sure you've got water, because air is just not going to cut it.
Yeah, about time. Have you got everything I wanted?
Actually, there's one thing I forgot. Just give me a moment.
Get a move on. We have to finish the sword today.
Pretty sure I've got everything. So I've got the charcoal. I've got the picture. And then there was that part for the sword, wasn't it? We're going to speak to those guards again. I'm pretty sure they gave that to me earlier.
My respects to you.
God save, lads.
Same to you. What's new?
I've just been to the tavern. The Deutsch was saying all kinds of shit about how Sigismund should be king.
That bastard. One day I'll get his teeth knocked down his throat if he doesn't shut up. May the Lord watch over you.
Speak to this guy just in case. You can't even speak to him, so let's have a look at the quest log. Unexpected visit. We finally. So it says go to the sword fighting lessons. Current objective. Buy a bag of charcoal. I've got to buy 10 bags. Okay, that's what it is. Optional, find something at Kunesh worth selling. Optional, try to get axe. Okay. So basically, I didn't buy enough charcoal. I only bought one piece, thinking that would have been enough, but it clearly isn't. Let's go and get that sorted. So I've got to make some more money. Let's go and look in Kunesh's house again and see if there's some more stuff I can find to sell. Because he had the hammer, he had the nails, which I've already sold.
All right,
Oh, there's an axe here.
boy, you got the better of me. Take what you want.
But that's what I was missing, because I was wondering, how is it I haven't got the money that I need when I've completed the missions? So, this axe. Let's buy the rest of the charcoal. I've bought 3 pieces so far, I think. Got 7 more to go. Okay, everything's done. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, about time. Have you got everything I wanted?
I've got to go to sword fighting lesson.
Actually, there's one thing I forgot. Just give me a moment.
Get a move on. We have to finish the sword today.
So where do you have to go for this sword fighting lesson then? Okay, so it's somewhere in town. I like the map. That's like a really, really nice illustration. So I remember a long while ago, people asked me what some of the best looking games on PC. And at first glance, I never really gave this game too much credit, but honestly, maybe the opening scenes aren't the best, but there are some parts to this game that look absolutely amazing. So this game has gone up in my estimation in terms of visuals, but you're definitely going to need a system good enough to run it. Anyway, so the sword fighting lessons with this guy.
Hail to the hero! Have you recovered from yesterday's great wound?
It was nothing. Except Mother noticed and had a word or two to say about it.
No mother's happy when a son starts to take an interest in swords. Where there's weapons, there's death. The question is, what do you want?
I don't want to rot in this hole forever. I feel like I don't belong here. I want to live and see the world. But the world's a dangerous place and I need to know how to protect myself.
Spoken like a man. And as it happens, today's your last chance. I have to leave. So, are you ready to get stuck in?
Yes.
All right, I'll wait on the ground by the sheepfold as usual.
Guess I'll just follow him because I don't even know where that is. So yeah, i9 12900K. To see it using over 100 watts in game, that's when you know it's really being used quite a lot. Because the CPU is surprisingly power efficient when it comes to gaming workloads, but in terms of like productivity, that's when it kind of falls off the cliff a little bit, especially if you got it overclocked and you're not using any AVX offset. So I've got 0 AVX offset at the moment, so when it comes to those heavy workloads, it really does hammer at the CPU. This guy is taking forever. See if I got anything to eat. No, I want something to try and recover my health, but this might do it. Anyway. Good to see they got dynamic flora and vegetation. A lot of games just have it static and it kind of just doesn't look realistic. Okay, let's do it.
So, can we get started?
We can.
Good. And since today's the last time we'll be seeing each other, you can show me everything I've taught you so far. Very well. Let's start with the basics. Keep moving. Your life depends on it.
So you can move around by pressing A and D, left shift to kind of dodge, I guess.
All right. Now try to hit me. You have to put your weight into your attack. If you just fiddle around, you'll get nowhere. Try slashing from different sides. Unpredictability is the key. Never repeat yourself.
Okay.
Not bad. Again. All right. Good. Once again. All right. Good. Once again. The point of the blade is for stabbing. Try it a few times. Now you're getting it. Good. Fine. Good, good. Let's try something else. One strike, I can fend off without a sweat. But if you chain your strikes, I'll have a much harder time. As soon as you land one blow, follow it with another.
Okay, so you can chain combos together.
Not bad. Again. Good. Very good. All right. That's enough. I don't know about you, but I'm tired and thirsty. Remember though, train hard. No one becomes a master swordsman overnight. You have to work and work. And the main thing is to use what you've learned in real combat. There's nothing better than experience, believe me.
Okay, I'll leave him to it. Thanks for the lesson. Let's go back to his dad and give him everything now. So that's basically the tutorial phase of the game, all sorted now. And as far as I can see, it's playing better than it ever has. But then again, this is the best system I've ever had, so it makes sense. I watch run past his dad.
Yeah, about time. Have you got everything I wanted?
I have charcoal, the hilt, and the ale. We can start.
Good job. Let's have it then, son. Where have you been with that ale? It's as flat and warm as horse piss. Go back and get me another, and you can pay for it yourself. That's the price of stupidity.
As if he sent me back to go and buy a new beer, like I'm some kind of scout.
God save Henry.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
Was he playing some kind of board game? Play another time. Let's go and get some more beer.
Strong linen, delicate velvet, beautiful and functional.
Look at the state you're in.
Yeah, I know.
I'm back.
I can see that. What's the matter?
I need another pitcher of ale. The last one wasn't cold enough for Father.
You want me to get it for you?
But I still have no money to pay for it.
Honestly, what am I to do with you? God be with you. Here you are.
Thanks.
It's on me today. You can pay me back this evening.
Don't worry, dearest. This evening I'll see you right.
Oh, Hal, I do hope so.
Anyway, time to go. So I don't think I've seen the game drop below 60 at any point. Some of you guys may have noticed, but I certainly haven't. But the main thing is the gameplay is smooth.
Yeah, about time. Have you got everything I wanted?
I have charcoal, the hilt, and the ale. We can start.
Good job. Let's have it then, son. Well done. Right. Let's see what kind of job the master in Sasau did for us. Look at that, lad. That's what I call craftsmanship.
What does the inscription mean?
Damned if I know. Doesn't look like Czech to me. Latin, maybe? Lord Radzig ordered it. Oh, this will be the finest sword I've ever made. Have you got the charcoal? Good. Then fire up the forge. We'll put it all together. By the way, I heard some gossip about what happened to Deutsch. I expect you know something about it.
Maybe.
Maybe? Someone threw dung at Deutsch's freshly lime-washed house, maybe? And maybe those cronies of yours had something to do with it?
That Deutsch was talking treason in the tavern about Sigismund and the king. He got what he deserved.
Oh, got what he deserved, did he? Look, I don't know if you're mixed up in this or if it's just those friends of yours. It's all the same to me. But I have a trade to run. The German pays well. And having my son in the pillory helps nothing and nobody, least of all the king. Do you understand? Yes. Look me in the eye, Henry. Do you understand?
I understand.
Good. Then we'll never have this conversation again.
Well, so you think it's right to let traitors speak ill of the king?
Does that boy ever listen to a word I say? So Deutsch spouts rubbish, so what? You might win a fight with violence, but you'll never win an argument. Remember, Henry, if you want to convince someone that they're wrong, try using your mouth, and not your fists.
The furnace is ready.
Right, we'll do the grip. I'll heat it up, and when I take it out, you slip the grip on so it fits exactly. You know what you're doing.
So yeah, some cutscenes are locked to 30, some are not, which is a bit strange. I don't know why they've done that.
Do it. Good. Once more. That's it. Done. Now file it down so it sits well in the hand. I'll prepare the guard.
Father, why did you leave Prague? Who ever heard of a master swordsmith making horseshoes in a village?
I had my reasons, Hal. And here I have your mother and you. Why would I want any other life?
Do you remember Emperor Charles?
I do. Life was good under his reign.
Better than now.
He built half of Prague, and a score of castles, had a bridge made over the Moldau, and founded a university, and all without a war. He knew how to rule.
Better than Wenceslas.
Better by far. But Wenceslas doesn't have it easy. It's hard to step into the shoes of someone whose like is born only once 1,000 years.
What about Sigismund?
Do you think Charles would have brought an army down on his own people like Sigismund? No. Wenceslas may not be the equal of his father, but Sigismund, he brings shame to the royal name. How's it going? Give it here, and we'll put it all together.
It's magnificent.
Indeed it is. The Lord be with you. My father sent me for those nails.
Good day to you, Teresa. They're ready. Will you fetch them for me, Hal? They're in the trunk in the living room.
Nice bit of craftsmanship there. So, nails are in the living room somewhere. Let's bring those nails over.
That won't do. Go and get those damn nails.
Here are those nails you wanted.
Thanks. So, how's Bianca?
She's fine.
What are you like?
Why do you ask?
Just wondering, will you be going to the dance this evening?
We will.
Maybe we'll see each other there. Anyway, mustn't keep you. I'll be on my way. That sword is truly beautiful.
Bring those nails and don't Teresa wait. Fine lass, eh? Now stop staring at her and come and see this. It's time for the trial by fire. We did a fine job.
I would expect nothing less from such a renowned swordsmith.
Those days are gone, sir.
You haven't lost your skills, though. Would you like to try it?
Sir, what good is a sword to a commoner?
Let him try it. You still have a lot to learn. Ask your father to show you how. He knows what he's about.
Learning his trade will serve him better in life, sir.
Perhaps. But who knows what the future holds for each of us. I see that you almost have it finished.
It just needs a polish, then Henry will bring it to you.
Excellent. Fine work, very fine. A sword such as this will bring honor to its bearer. What say you, Svan?
True, Sir Radzik. If I'd have had its like back in Nicopolis, things would have worked out differently. How odd to find such an accomplished swordsmith working in a place like this. A man of his talent would have no problem making a fortune in Prague or Vienna.
You're right. It's a very long and peculiar story.
I'd be glad to listen to it over a cup of wine, but duty calls, and I must leave. Here you are. Learn from your father. He truly is a master of his craft.
I'm sure our paths will cross again.
They certainly will.
Once it's ready, send your son up to me with it. Good work, Martin.
Sure.
It's been an honor, Sir Istvan. Have a safe journey to Sasau.
The honor is mine, Sir Radzik. Thank you for the hospitality.
A long, peculiar history. That was a long time ago. I might tell you about it sometime, but not today.
Will you teach me how to use it, like Sir Radzik said?
Why?
Well, it could come in useful. Maybe I'll travel a bit before settling down. I'd like to know more than the tavern on the green and the forge.
You know the trouble with an adventurous life, son? It can end before it gets started. I might teach you how to handle a sword, and then someone will shoot you with a crossbow as soon as you set foot outside the house.
You talk as if you've seen it happen.
A man my age has seen a lot. Being a blacksmith might bring no glory, but it has its benefits, like keeping your head on your shoulders. I want to end my days in Skalitz, here, beneath the linden tree and by your mother's side.
Well, so do I, one day.
But first, I'd like to see the world. Meet new people.
Meet them or beat them?
Meet. You have to keep going on about it.
Then you've no need to learn swordplay.
A messenger.
He was in a hurry. What's happened?
Listen to me, Al. Listen carefully. Take the sword, go into the house, and grab anything else important from the trunk. Go to the castle. Hurry.
And what about you?
Your mother is in the village. I'll fetch her and we'll follow right behind.
I'll go with you. No. You do what I say right now. Give the sword to Sir Radzik.
If anything happens, he'll take care of you. He owes me.
Closing! Move it, people! Come on! We're running out of time! Oh, Henry! Thank God! Get inside, quick! We have to shut the gates! Get running, people! Come on!
Why mess with me?
Are you mad? You can't go back! Get through the gates! Come on, Hal! You can still make it! Run! Find a horse! Ride to Talberg! Tell them what's coming! Warn them!
Run by the moat! There's a path down there! Jump down from the wall and flee!
Pretty bad what happened to his parents. Literally got butchered, couldn't do anything about it. He also got to keep the sword though. Find a way out of here. Let's get a horse ready first. We'll have to hit one of these guys and get out of there.
Burn in hell, you animal! Papicsába mi ez? Írjátok ki a fattyút! Még sajnálni fogod, hogy megjelentél itt, te szarok!
Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, looks like I'm going to be chased out of here. Not even going to bother looking back. I'm just going to try and ride as quickly as I can.